Okay. Hi everyone. I will start to record from the first game, and the first game is Aldo Moscatelli against Clement Menard. Let's start with this one. So let's start. Yeah, first of all, I wouldn't play k4. It looks strange. Maybe something like this would be like a bit more normal. A reason for that most likely after this exchange you don't really want to play A immediately. You don't want to have the stone. Maybe you want to have a stone at B. It doesn't look even balanced to really play like this. Hi everyone. Yeah. So I would go probably something else. I don't think that move on the side is not really a big deal, but I think when you play instead of Shimari, move on the side, you lose like half a point. It's not a big deal, but overall, I think like even professional played this up to some point. I think up to 2000 or something. It was still a professional move, but at some point it's just not that good. And just playing Shimari would be way more, just better. Yeah, but okay. I think this is not a big deal. This is still playable, and this is okay. And here, like the next move is good. Like this one is good, but I would also like to play it B. I think by itself, or I don't know, yeah, like B. And it's not like that A is wrong. A is probably even bigger than B, but because of this shape, I feel like that white also want to have a stone at B. And now black played there, and I'm not even sure this exchange is good for white. Okay, this is fine. This is good. I would also play like this. It's great. Yeah. It's amazing. I think up to here, white played pretty well. And now there is few options. One is the most aggressive. I think if I would play white, probably I would play like this. The goal is to, you know, I don't know if black can live at the moment with two stones. It's not clear. Like maybe you can, but you kind of ask black to show the variation, because obviously it's not that easy, and I don't know what to do as black here to settle the position. In my eyes, I don't know. Looks not easy. Feels like if black needs to live like somehow like this, this looks not acceptable at the moment to play like this. So it feels like you create a really, really difficult problem for black with playing one. In this game, when you play this, now more or less black can sacrifice this. You can just play here and try to sacrifice it somehow. And then black kind of solved the position. Like this. Yeah, it feels like a Joseki. So I feel like in this situation, white loses momentum. Yeah. Okay. This one is good. Yeah. This is also fine. Okay. This is fine. Maybe now just like these exchanges looks strange. So I don't know why you need to do them. Like, first of all, I think here, if there is anything, I think there is not really. I don't think anything at the moment. I think that's just a life. Should be. I think this should be dead somehow. Need to think how. I think like this it should be dead. like this also not a lot of liberties, is clearly dead. And I don't think there is anything, so it's just endgame. I mean, like this. And just by these exchanges, maybe it becomes even stronger, but you just play inside your corner, like you play moves, which is most likely close to be neutral points, and black gets outside stones, so that doesn't look good. Yeah, this one is okay. Maybe I would be even okay to play just here, and then it's fine. Yeah, and now after this, something strange happened. Like white start to play a lot of strange moves, like this one. Again, I would play some shapes that I know. I don't know. Maybe I would play something like this. Try to be more connected to something, like play here and here. This looks like I destroy the center, and it looks fine. You create a group in center. That makes a lot of sense. You can also play from the top, aim into this cut. Also can be an option. You can try to invade the bottom. Like everything is fine, but this combination to play A, you just limit black, but you don't build much. And yeah, black destroy. Now this move, okay. Then again, like these shapes are not connected to each other, and basically also this. And now black can just connect, and the value of this shape, I don't know. It feel like here with move by move, white just had a more or less decent game, and after this everything just falling apart. Okay, Kemo. I would probably connect at K3. Looks more decent. Yeah, looks a bit better, but Kemo probably is fine. And all sequence, which is might be important, is to about sacrificing stones at H2 and J2. I think whenever you sacrifice them, this is locally big minus. Sometimes there are sequences in a corner when you sacrifice them, but I also did it before AI and I thought it's okay, but this is like minus 10 points. You give up too much points by itself, like black built a lot of points plus endgame, and this is not usually worth to sacrifice 2 stones like this to get outside few extra center moves. Okay. That looks fine, but the shape is here. But I think at this point white needs to do something. The situation is bad, so maybe this is even invitation for black to try to cut. But for black I wouldn't cut, I would just try to make the position simple. Like, just leave. I think black is ahead by a lot at this game. If white would play something else, I would even just continue to play endgame. Looks simple and the game looks kind of solved. Cutting this creates some kind of illusion of the fight. Yeah, and now we have some kind of white cut some groups. Black is not alive. And I don't know, let's say if white would play here, and then you kind of have to run and then play something like this, it looks a bit complicated. This, I think, well, maybe you can even start with this one, like this, or maybe Kema. And if we try to do something, it should be more or less, yeah, feels like it's not that clear. Maybe it's not a bluff. There is like this. Maybe you can get this one and try. Like at this moment it doesn't work, but maybe if you get some center moves, like on this you can get Kosumi, but it can be something. Like it's not completely nothing. There should be some maybe core, I don't know. Like there is this option to play maybe now to start, and you can go with this option, try to play around some core. It's not complete nothing, but I don't think you need to waste a move, and this is some risk, and black doesn't need to go for that. Yeah, and I think when black get this and the stance is dead, game is over. Like, I cannot imagine white can win this. Even if I would play white, I don't see how to win this. No matter with whom I play. Like, up to here, black has more points, everything is alive. There is no group you need to hope. Like, you need to hope for a miracle. And yeah, black is just playing endgame. Up to here, it's not really game anymore, because like there is a core, but I think even if white can capture this without even spending a move, it still feels like just white doesn't have enough points. Yeah. So about white, I think for white up to here was some situation where you don't know what to do, and you need to try to play the more solid shapes. Like, try to play the moves like here, like even c2. This is not bad moves. Or try to jump here to destroy Moyo, or try to peep, and let's say even this is good. But it should be connected to some shape. This is some floating move, and then trying to connect like in this floating way, it doesn't look, it affects black position at all. And also it's kind of cost. I think this is what the main point where white uh, lose. Like, let's say the game was not, after this the game becomes not really close. And for black, I think, just even though this shape is pretty bad, this, but we don't need, sometimes we don't need to cut it. Better to just keep it and maybe play endgame and hope that at some point white will fix it. Maybe white will add a move and it's enough value, especially if you're ahead. I think at this point black is ahead by like more than 10, maybe like 20 points, 10, maybe 15, 20 points, I think, because all these shapes were really bad. So I think it's solid lead, and if you just play continuously, endgame moves should be easy win. And for white, this will be kind of always a problem that will bother all of the time. Like, you can steal after this. Maybe now it would be even more powerful after you already have a stone in a corner. Now the cut looks more promising. So you can use it later in any case. Yeah, I think that's kind of all. Maybe you have some questions about this game. If no, we can move to the next one. Okay, let's move then to the next one. I will send the link. Top left corner. Yeah, top left corner is standard shape, and I think it's good just to remember that you don't need to add extra move. This might be useful. Yeah, the next game is Matthew Cable against Clement Menard. So. Okay. Yeah, this looks okay. I would like to play here as white or this or that one, but playing Tenuki is completely okay. So if you want to play Tenuki, why not? Looks good. That also looks okay. Yeah, and about here, I think the easiest one, what I would even play here, I would play just Invasion Corner. This is the most easier, like, or Hane Invasion Corner, something like this. Or just invasion to the corner. These two options, this is the main options. And this is main options from AI, and like this one is less popular. I think this is might be even a bit trick play for a lot of people, but this is also pretty decent variations. Like trick play, I mean, not a trick play, I would say not common Joseki. People just don't know it, but it's still like something like this, and maybe something like this, and cut and fight. It looks not easy again, but this is okay to play like this. And or just we play another one, which would be like this. This is more common one. This and this. And then we can connect, or we can maybe capture the stone. Let's say we connect. Looks good. And then something like this. This is also some variations. There is a lot of variations here, but this is how they usually go. This cut I never saw, like this one. And it looks not easy. Maybe, I don't know, I would consider something like this, or this as two moves, which I can use. And maybe it would lead to something like this. But that's a lot of points, and I'm not sure you need to have this wall here at this point. Like this, it looks like situation is just falling apart. No more sound. You cannot hear me, or you can? 1 second. We'll check. 1, 2, 3. That's interesting. Now there is a sound. Sorry about that. I think so. It's like, it's funny because I checked the sound on OBS, and on OBS there is a sound, but on Discord there is no. That's fine. Yeah, I know what it's like. I need to just turn on my earphones. It's not a big deal, but I need to follow that. Okay, so I never saw this cut as a joseki, and it's still, the option would be here and here. I think this is two main options, and if we play here, we don't really solve the problem with this cut. It's still there. And now after black goes, we need to solve this stone, and this is still a cut that destroys our shape. And after this, I don't think white can really hope for a good result. Maybe even for black, I would play something different. Maybe I would, I don't know, would play something like this and then would cut. It feels more solid. Like now I don't know what to do as white. Like this, it's still pretty bad. But maybe now it's not that easy to cut, but it still looks good. It's anyway looks very good for black. Yeah. One thing, I think it's good to just exchange this. No matter what, like this way you're happy for sure. So on this one, you need to answer as white. And then it's good exchange. And also, I think as white, if black would play here, I would play this to make the shape. Now at least you put some pressure to the corner. It just feels like a key point for black and for white in this joseki. So, and also it's center for black. Yeah, like now maybe white should try to play something like this first, and then maybe push. But in the end, it was kind of same. Yeah, because black didn't go with the most aggressive version. Yeah, this is good. And here I'm not sure. Maybe there is some cool stuff. Like you can play something like this, and then try to get some center moves, but at the moment it's not worth much. But there is a lot of agi, so should be okay. Okay. I don't know if you need. I think this group is more or less alive, but this one is okay, and this one is also. I think this way it's still playable. Like game is still okay. This is also fine. Giving up Ponuki, why not? Yeah. It's also good. Yeah. About this one. This is really strange one. This one is center. And you can always get this exchange, but I don't think you want to have afterwards to answer a A. like at least you want to jump here, at least. But most of the times you just want to play maybe more active. I don't know, just maybe jump like this, putting more pressure to everything. This looks more solid way of playing. Just playing two space extension looks super slow. And yeah, I think maybe if I would play black, I would even consider to play on the right or on the top right, because I don't think really white can attack that so severely. So maybe even like this, even Tenuki would be an option. This way, okay, big move. I think this move in the corner, like just to play in B, looks huge. It feels like it's center for white and maybe for black. And I feel like this is one of the most urgent moves. We play and then suddenly corner is not alive. And now if we play here, black play this, suddenly we need to do something with two stones. And it's also about points and about status of the group. So it should be the biggest move. Yeah, or like this. Doesn't really matter how to defend. Yeah. I think this one doesn't work. And I don't know what to do on this one already. Like if we play the same, if the plan is to give up the stone, like here and give up, then it's better to play without it, like to just play this. And I think white would still defend. And then you can connect. For example, this should be okay. But just giving up Ponuki there, not a good idea, because white is not alive there with the group on the top. So that's why I would consider to play something else. And for white, it's just too easy to let black live like this. It feels like white, all white position is kind of collapsing here. Black is alive and black managed to cut. There is no leather. No leather. Yeah, it feels difficult. Also here, you can try to capture this somehow. Maybe not even capture, but at least you need to... Oh, this is bad shape. I'm just thinking how to put some pressure, maybe just with Kosumi. You need to remember you have a lot of Aji here, like this, and this. This is a lot of Aji. You have a lot of center moves. So in theory, it's not that easy. Like you can maybe defend now and get this. This is a wall. So maybe now, if you make these exchanges on the right, these two stones are already dead. They have a lot of bad Aji, maybe they can cut here the stone, but it's not that easy to escape. This move allows black to just run, and I don't think now you can kill it. Yeah, it looks like really nice shape, and white is not killing. Yeah. This is still probably a game, but now I feel like black is ahead by like more than 10 after black managed to escape with this two. So most likely white needs to try to play maximum here, like try to cut. Okay. Maybe now try to kill it somehow. I'm just not sure how to kill it, but I would for sure try something. Like this is not clearly working. I want to hope for every variation that will help me, but I think the cut is not really possible at all. So maybe just like this, like you try to get some exchange and hope something like this will work. Try to cut and capture. Maybe at some point you will have a chance. Maybe also try not to with b15, but with some more active move. Like try to go with this one also not clearly if it works. It's not that easy. That shape. Maybe try to go with this move. It's a bit more active, but I think it's still. It goes like the same. Maybe like this. Try to attack and cut. Maybe this would work. At least would give more chances. But connecting here feels like you spend a move, and now situation really goes out of control. Yeah, cut is good. Uh, I'm not sure this is only way. Like if it's the only way, then I'm pretty sure you don't need to play like this. And like after this cut, I don't think you have a choice. You have a chance, maybe like this, but I don't know if it's also helps. Like this is also looks like everything is dying. So I don't know. I want to find something, but I feel like at this point already you cannot do much. I cannot see anything. So I guess just playing Tenuki was not really a good timing. Maybe just playing here, try to fight would be a chance. This was super clean variation on the right. There is no way you can escape. And up to here, you as white lose a lot and black just make the game super simple. I don't think there is a way you can come back. Maybe some kill, but this looks, yeah, not really possible. Yeah, and basically this is, I think, yeah, also for black, not necessary to play co, but yeah, black is also not losing much. I think this was not really important. The important thing was most likely trying to kill. You need to try to kill it, or maybe not to kill, trying to make it more, first of all, aggressive, and second of all, trying here maybe instead of this Kosumi, try to put some pressure on the stones. This was the main thing. And one with here with the cut. This is not a Joseki. It feels like this, but that Joseki was not game over. Like, I think it looks terrible, but up to here, the game is not so bad. I think it's still okay. Uh, Probably black is better because black get the cutting stones, but if you play like maybe Keima here, game becomes like white have a lot of small territories with not optimal groups, but game becomes closer, and because of that, sometimes you don't use this kind of walls. This is a wall or a weak shape. We don't know at the moment. And in a game, you had an option to capture the cutting stones because of these weak points. And then the game would be kind of even. Maybe not even, maybe still black is a bit ahead, but you know, when you enter a game and you are behind in endgame by 5, you still have a decent chance to win. And here I think it's just maybe like +5, maximum +10 for black, and this is for sure playable. From the beginning, it's very difficult to lose a game after one Joseki if nothing died. Here, in theory, nothing died, and this part of the board is like right one. This one is a black part. On the left, you have more your stones, and you will have a better result on the left. Here, you should have a worse result because there is more black stones. Yeah. Do you have questions about this one? Okay, so let's go to the next one. Send a link. So next one is a game between Robin Bakardats and Matthew Gable. So this looks I remember this game. This was huge moyos. Well, first of all, this move looks strange. Never saw this combo. Like with empty corner, yes, but with this, I think this honey looks great. And now I don't know what to do if we block. Like, is it alive? And if it's alive, like, is it good? Like, if we live like this, I'm not sure it's really good. Like, if we go like this, because you will have the center here. This is not alive, we need to live. I don't think you are happy with this to live, like, with the corner so early and so small. So maybe I would just play like this, or even like this. Also leads to kind of similar result. Maybe here would be a Kema. I think this is just okay for white. You don't need to really connect. I mean, connecting here at least, like in a game you play from inside, it at least makes these stones kind of useful. This. So now maybe you need to play Atari now and then connect. I think this would be the best. But still, I'm like there is still a lot of problems in this shape. Is it really good? I don't know. It's like some difficult stuff. I'm not sure it's that good. And but after the cut, well, for sure I would answer. At least once, I think you have to answer. And then see what happens. Let's see, we cut. I think you can easily capture because this is not dead yet. Like this is you can kill. So at the moment, it's not really working. If you need to give us stones like this, then this is completely different story. This is very good for white already. So I think blocking once would be great, and then see what is the black plan. Again, I don't know what black would play. Maybe black would connect. And then you can extend, and then it looks like a decent fight. I don't see what is the plan for black in this case. Maybe black would extend. I don't know, maybe you can extend. I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure. Does it really? I mean, it's okay even, I guess, to play something like this or something like this should be fine. To just make overall fight looks fine. But this exchange looks not good this way. I feel like black get more. It just feels like capturing these stones makes like it feels like also black gets like really big right side. This is helps a lot for Moya, so I would be happy here as black. Okay. This is fine. I would try to do something else here. Well, maybe it's okay. I don't know. Well, feels okay, so should be fine. Yeah. This is strange, but still fine. I think living here is okay. It's not really a problem. I would be kind of okay of living there. And now, as black, black tried to attack these two stones. Makes a lot of sense. But as white, I would really try to run them and try to run them in this direction, like this. And the goal of that, try to run and try to destroy this Moya. It feels like black have 0 points, but all the black position, if like this is like half of the Moyo, you don't have that many invasion points. You cannot like put some pressure. It's hard to invade anywhere there. So if black add one more wall, it becomes kind of almost like not points, but it becomes already annoying. And that's why I would maybe play something like this and try to put some pressure on the group. And meanwhile, black would run, but also white would run, and you can, while running, destroying that Olmoya. This way, it makes situation kind of easier already for black, because you get some cash, but Moya becomes a problematic now. Now it's you need to leave somehow. Like with each of your move, you just leave, but black almost get the next wall, or even with next move, it's already a wall. Okay. Yeah, now it's not that easy. Now you need to limit it. I would play something similar. This looks okay. This is also looks fine. Black played good this game. I'm not sure I would play the same like here, but so far I think black playing well with this Moya and handling everything here pretty well. Maybe this way, yeah, well, this looks like a good shape. You have to play. It's also okay. Maybe here I would already try to connect in an active way, because yeah, maybe you can cut this part, but you cannot really, like, then you will just go to the other part. This is still a big Moya, this part. That's why I would be kind of trying to play a bit more active, and then it would be easier to maybe destroy more points. Like this is the stick without ice. And maybe there is, in this situation, there is one risky play just to try to live inside. Maybe, I don't know, maybe like this. This looks a bit risky, but if you can manage, then, like, if you will not manage, you die, and that's game over. But if you will manage, maybe situation will turn around. This is super risky, and you need to be ready that half of the times you will die here. But if you live without call, I think the goal of destroying this Moyo is successful. Like this, you try to escape and giving up this Panuki. I think this is not good. Just Panuki is too powerful. And it's kind of enclose this for sure. And there is still a possibility of possibility of the right side is still there. You didn't even destroy it. Maybe now, oh, looks like center. Now you need to just maybe, as black, invade to the corner or cut something. I don't know. Yeah, there is some problems here. That looks not easy. I think here you can just defend. I know you cannot. There is a problem with the other side. Okay. This already looks not good. I'm just thinking, what is the options? And maybe you need to play here. Yeah, maybe you need to play here and leave. Because connecting on the first line looks terrible. It's like looks, but everything, even like in the game I saw the group is dead, but I think even now, when you need to connect like this, and let's say black do nothing, black is not going to kill you, don't play that aggressive, but playing even like, I don't know, something like this. And this is not points, all this. And also at some point you need to play all these moves inside. And black would get outside moves. This is not good. Like, this is terrible. Yeah. And now, not a lot of liberties, and basically this group is dead. And I think up to here, this is more or less game over. There was some something. There was a lot of moves. I think there was some fighting, but yeah, black played good defending. I think as black you don't need to kill. Just defend. I think letting it live it's easier. I wouldn't go for a kill. I don't know if it's even working, but I think at this point black is ahead by so much. You just play endgame, be sure, and I think the difference is too big. And killing, if it's cleanly works, it also might be okay, but there is some risk. Yeah, in it. Yeah. Well, here I think all this fighting. Well, about this, maybe I'm just thinking maybe you need to play it even right away, just not to make bad exchanges. But I think from this fighting, um, like just answering and creating, I would say a stick here was kind of a problem. Maybe even the next jump would be not the best one. Maybe you need to play to build a shape in a different way, like N14. Well, for example, this can help. Don't know if it helps because it also might be a problem for the right. I'm just thinking maybe even even you play Kema, it might be already better because it's not clear how to play, and I'm just thinking maybe trying to cut it and try to play some kind of crazy shape, but I'm just thinking this looks good. Maybe try to play something like this. Something more active. It looks also a bit loose. But again, your goal is not to live as everything. And see, if you can, for example, build some group here, it also might be enough. But at least it's not that heavy. This, I think, everything. The problem started when this is like just a stick without, like, without ice, and you cannot sacrifice it. Up to here, when you cannot sacrifice it, it doesn't have ice. This is a problem. When you play the moves, the shapes like this, it's way harder to make it heavy. I don't know. I'm not sure this one, in fact, it's center at the moment. So if I think it's not center, I would just play something like this to aim with the next move to play here. I don't think the cut is that severe. It feels like if you cut, it's not 100% clear if it's good. Like then we can cut and also get something. It's like this is a bit tricky. So I feel like for black it's not that easy to punish this kind of moves. Yeah. And for black, I mean black played pretty good. And I think the easiest way for white to solve it would be to go earlier, like this. This or maybe Kema. I don't like this shape, but as far as white cannot cut, maybe this, and try to run in this direction with black, and then Moyo will disappear by itself, and then it looks like a decent plan. Yeah. Okay. Do you have maybe questions about this game? Okay, good. Let's go then to the next one. So this is the game between Aldo Moscatelli and Robin Bacardaz. This is a Joseki. Yeah, this is also some kind of variation of a Joseki. Looks like you give like here white get a wall, black get not almost like not territory at the moment, so should be fine. Looks like a Joseki at the moment. And this is the first move which I wouldn't play. It looks so flying, and I think in this situation there is two moves which you need to look for. It's A and B. This is the shapes which, well, maybe you can also go with C. This is sometimes not in this position, but also if the side, bottom side is open, this is another move to approach. Here I think A is okay to just give this side. This is might be fine to give it and place some extension, looks good. Or to just play inside and try to leave. Maybe like this. This is also looks fine. Both options are good. And this is like a standard moves how to approach. Maybe it's also okay to play even Tanuki at the moment. This is also fine. But for sure you don't want to have this. And yeah, and the reason that after you see the shape is not connected. Like now stone A in a strange position. You want to have it in stone like at position at D. And this is the big difference. Now maybe if white would play somewhere here, these two stones might be a target. If the stone on other place, kind of black almost connected. At least you can cut it, but you need to make a lot of bad exchanges. This one is big. This is good. This is another big move. Yeah, and I think now probably the biggest point would be to play maybe somewhere around here. This is very strong group, but it's not completely alive. And also black is not alive. You maybe don't build that much points, but at least you make this group weak, make your group stronger, and there is you destroy some potential white points, build a bit for yourself, looks okay. This I don't like. This you just lose center, and there is no follow-up with this. This looks not interesting, this one. I think, yeah, like playing here, maybe even invading corner would be okay, but just this group doesn't really have a territory in this area. Like this is not territory, and you cannot really hope for that. Mostly what you need to hope for is just to ice. And so that's why I think building and creating this wall doesn't give you points, and the group was almost alive, so I think it's just not efficient to play like this. Okay, this is big. Yeah, this is for sure bigger than top. This is interesting. Well, first of all, this stones is completely useless, and this is a huge education. You destroy a lot of options. Whatever will happen, I think this is not a useful stone. You don't want to have a stone near the wall. And second of all, you still like maybe white can even play here in order to have like more follow-up somehow. It can happen. I don't know if it's a good one. Or maybe try to play something like this. I don't know if this one is good. But even defending, I think it's just this exchange is not looking good. Like in a game, it feels like you will not use it differently, but in reality, if I just delete it, maybe you can crosscut here, for example. And this is might be annoying. And you need to think about that. With this one, yeah, with this, it doesn't really work. Yeah. Okay. Black made some exchanges. And now about this side. This side is completely not interesting. You cannot build a lot of points as white there. So as white, I would just, I don't know, play somewhere here. Looks like a biggest point. Also, you can attack afterwards. I don't like to play here, just this group is completely alive. You cannot really put a lot of pressure. And now black can kind of get some momentum here. This is good. And now after you play the move to reinforce, here even white is under pressure. I'm not sure this is the best one. Maybe it's okay, but maybe black can find something better. For example, I would just consider to play something like this, maybe. And then, I don't know if I need to play more. But maybe also like this. This also looks good. To just leave. This is like an option. Because like this, you see, the connection is not as good. But maybe also here, this looks like an option to have some exchange. This looks even in my eyes. Maybe also white needs to kind of reinforce and black has center. This looks fine. Like this, black white reinforce in a pretty good shape. I'm not sure about this. Probably still putting some pressure. Maybe okay. Looks not the biggest, but I guess it's okay. Now I'm pretty sure the cut is not good. Maybe something like this would work better. Like something like this and connection. Looks like this is the way how you need to play. This is also a street to a cut. It's not so easy to defend. And yeah, like just giving up 2 stones. There is a cut, but I don't think you really want to have this cut, and it doesn't really help you on points. At this point, points are really important. Like you cannot build a lot in center, so in this point of the game, you need to really focus on points, like solid points. And giving up these exchanges to defend the cut is not a good strategy, because if you just give solid points for some cut, maybe white even will not cut. I think if you play this, white, it's a bit too much to cut at this point. Even now, there is a group, so I don't think white would even consider to cut, and that means that exchanges are not really good. Yeah, this one is fine. Yeah, it feels like, again, black didn't build any points. Maybe black can do something here. Some cut. But it doesn't really work. Or it does? I don't know. Maybe go till the end, but it feels like there is some problems with shapes. I don't know. It feels too much still. Probably I would still play like this, because it looks more interesting at least. Putting way more pressure like this with this cut, then it means that cut is failed. Maybe then you need to use the cut different way. I don't know, I would consider something like this. Maybe this doesn't work at all. Maybe this way, like this. Try to still put some pressure, but there is maybe even now, maybe now, just without making the base, because feels like black tried to kind of play around it, but it was not successful. And by points, I feel like white have just more. And then basically we start to play endgame, but somehow, yeah, it's not really a close game. White have just more cash. Also with this in center with some points, and step by step, like I feel like game was even more or less, but these small territories that white built like was just good enough. Like maybe even now I think white have like some advantage. maybe now it's timing after this. This was good, and now it's a timing to really try to do something with the group. I think this is maybe the best chance for black to come back in this game. Felt like this one was one mistake, and this was the second mistake, like big mistake for black, where white gets some advantage. And after this, it feels like white have like solid lead, maybe like 5 points, maybe 10. And you need also, it feels like by points that you are behind on points, you need to do something. And this is the last chance to kind of maybe use this fall. You know, if you maybe not block here, but try to, I don't know, at least have the moves here in center. I don't know. This is also can be a plan. For example, to play 5 and build some box in the end here. This is also might be okay. But for sure you don't need to defend this way and defend this like 5 points, and then it was like 0. And reinforce your group. I think black is behind and black should do something about it. Try to attack and try to get some extra points. Also, I'm start to overthink this move now. Well, yeah, maybe this one is okay. I'm just thinking maybe I would play something more active from the other side, but it's still okay. I think this is fine. I think this is was main reason where black lose points, and this is 1 and this is 2. And afterwards, yeah, not attacking the group. Yeah. Do you have maybe questions about this game, or we can move on? Okay, let's move on. I will just send another link. So this is the game between Matthew Capel and Aldo Moscatelli. This looks fine. Yeah, this shape is old. Like here, usually we play like this. This is way better shape for white. And there is some reason, like this is reason number 1. It's hard to answer this move already. Second one, black can always play here. So that's kind of, it's not a big deal, it's just half point or something. Or maybe a bit more than that, the difference between Joseki and this shape. But that one is a bit better. Okay. That's fine. This looks good. Maybe then I would play this one. I don't know how to, like, I don't know what is the clear answer here on this move. I don't see how to deal with that. Maybe you need to think about the other moves, but like with the moves like this, but I'm not sure it's that good in this position. So it feels like you know, this gives you option to maybe invade in the corner, but I'm not sure you want to invade corner at A afterwards. So I would go with just N3 and at least be sure that your bottom territory is safe. Yeah. Okay. And giving up Panuki. Maybe it's okay if you play at least like this. Leaving a core, that feels like a huge mistake. Maybe you can see it as a problem. Like in a game, it was not a big problem because black played Hane. Well, black gets still a good move, one extra move, and it still looks good for black, but let's assume black would play here. And now there is a big chance that if black will just leave this, for white you need at some point to play here, because like, or capture. But if you capture, we can play like another move, whatever move. I don't think you will play. You will answer, then black can capture back, and at some point you need to play 6. And this would be the clear usage of mistake with white shape. I think if it would be like this, then it would be better. Maybe it's like this way. I think it's okay. It's like probably best you could do if you would play O3, like one of the best options. So I think I would play just like this, but if it's already situation like it is, then yeah. Yeah, and here is probably now after black using these two moves instead of like, let's say A, B, and or like some other two big moves, I think now situation may be okay for white. That's fine. We never connect this stone, this one. I think there is, I cannot even imagine to connect here to play A. You just play like this, maybe this way, for example. Your goal is to make, like when you invade, the goal is global. Goal is to create a group. This group doesn't have points, but this group should have should give less moves, center moves for your opponent. Like, so if you will create less center moves, then overall this invasion would be better. So with this one, you create a heavy group, and that makes the invasion like black has a lot of center moves. With this one, now it's almost alive, and then it's okay. I think this is more like already endgame move, and even the move like this would make game more or less close. But connecting like this, you create a heavy group which you cannot sacrifice, and now that's might be a problem. Maybe not for now, but this is like really heavy group. And now black would play something on the top, and always in each next fight you need to fall back and check on this group afterwards. Okay. It's looking interesting. Maybe it will work. Like this, it doesn't work. So here, I guess this is okay. Maybe if you play like this, it's fine. Then you kind of get one in center and then play here. It looks like it's similar as the game, but there is maybe afterwards you can get this one. Also looks centish, more or less. Like if we don't answer, then something like this is a problem. You don't need to play 3 at the moment. But this way you have center. In the game, you just connect it in Gotha, and that's a big difference. I think here, for sure, you shouldn't lose center. And like this is okay. Yeah. Yeah, here it feels like you didn't get that much. Yeah, you should play from outside. I think this is more like no hope already if you play like this. It feels like, you know, if this dies, if this 3 stones dies, then you cannot come back. I think this is like last 2 moves, like let's say this and this, each is at least -5 points if you are dead. At least, maybe more. If you play like this, and let's say it would be like this, then your sacrifice might be not so bad, because still at some point black needs to play inside, you have some center moves, and you can still continue your game. But like this, it feels like you are try put all your efforts to just this fight. If it will not happen, you are okay to resign. This is the feeling. Yeah, and this is just that. And now, yeah, the corner is way bigger than it should be. This is good. You don't have a choice. You have to play like this. Yeah, black is playing very well this fight. I think white, like here as white, you play well because not really, like you need to do something. And yeah, maybe now cut the other way. Also, I think it's good idea to try to start a call. Every time you try to, you are behind, try to go with call. I mean, this exchanges, not clear if it's good for black. So just go to play core. Maybe on this core you get good exchanges, maybe something, but it makes the game way more complicated. Maybe black would not have that easy connection, for example. It can happen. Just connecting like this, letting black connect so easily might be not the best. Yeah. Also connecting this might be also slow. I think you need to try to do something like this. Try to be active and try to cut something. Maybe if you cut some group in center, you will have chance. Like this, it feels like you just lose any options. And now you try to kill the other group, which is fine, but the group is most likely would be alive. Yeah. And this is, I don't even know. I think this group is core, but it doesn't really matter. Because it feels like, even if it's core, you lose a lot of points. Like, let's imagine the situation. You play another Kosret, let's say Kosret, but then you capture and then it's double core. And if you connect here, I don't think you get anything. You lose your points. So I think this is last chance. Hope it's okay, but it was not really possible. I think here it's still okay. It's still, you can still make this game complicated by playing here, not connecting, playing some cores. Can be still a chance. And for black, I'm just thinking this game, it felt like black didn't make mistake because like this is my feeling of the game. First of all, because white, as white you invaded, and black didn't have the choice. Like most likely, black is just playing what like answering your moves as white, and black doesn't need to do anything else because the situation by itself, like it was black territory, you just invade and died, and now the situation for black is easy. Maybe what I wouldn't do, I wouldn't play so deep as black. I think at this situation you can play something more simple, like maybe even this. It's just already enough. Or yeah, I think this one is fine. And given points like this looks okay, even like this, because black has just too much. All four corners should be enough. And this one, at least when black played this, maybe it's still okay. Maybe it's even blue move with AI. But yeah, there is some chances that it can be complicated like here. Yeah. Also, I'm wondering, maybe there is a better cut. Maybe you can start with the Kosumi, for example, and at least try to cut or Kosumi and then Keima, something like this, or this and this, and maybe you can hope to cut everything. This might be possible. Or again, this, and this. That's like, feels like there is a lot of annoying stuff, and if you start with Kosumi. Even with this one, I'm not sure it's so easy to solve it. Maybe you can even start like this. This is already looks not so easy. And maybe if you would play like here, there is something. I mean, I'm pretty sure black can easily solve it, but at least it's open a huge field, like a huge field of opportunities where black can make a mistake. Probably this is still like easily solvable, but yeah, at least you need to calculate about something here. So then, yeah, like when black connected, especially when white connected, make the game simple. After this, I think it's kind of game over. Okay, that's all. Do you have maybe questions about this game? No. Okay, let's go then to the last one. So last game. Last game is Robin Bakardast against Clement Menard. Yeah, let's start. So far, everything just looks good. This looks like pretty good game. Okay. I'm a fan of this kind of Josekis as black, and I think the correct move is here at this point. Something like this, and then we play like you. This is the correct order. And then, yeah. This one is also possible. I checked, it's a bit worse, but leads to a bit different variation, which I'm not really fan of, but it's still a Joseki. And yeah, looks up to here, it looks okayish. So I'm not sure about N17. Maybe also okay. There is some option with the cut, but even though you get cut in center, well, maybe it's okay. It looks fine. If you can block. Maybe if you can get one, it looks way better. So I would probably play one here. And then go with, I guess it should be something like this. And then go like this. I think this would be most likely the best options for both. Like this, O18 looks like a good shape point. Cut. Okay. Up to here it looks like a Joseki, and it looks fine. Okay. This looks interesting. I'm pretty sure that this cut is mistake, this one. It feels like you need, like most often, you just need even to defend. It's very difficult to say that these two exchanges for these two is a good exchanges for black. Maybe in some cases, yes, it helps that you cannot really escape with the two white stone, but from the other side, you know, when you play, you can play here and you makes it huge, bigger minus. Maybe you will not even escape with them. You can use the stones differently. You force them to take, and then because of these minuses, capturing these two stones doesn't look so attractive anymore. So just going with this cut, it looks like a bit too much to go in with this cut. And here, Maybe also is black. You need to play this. It feels like, but okay. Maybe this is okay. But at this point, this is important trick. Here we have a ladder, and here you can capture these stones. But as far as you have a ladder, I would ask about the moves like this. What really black is thinking? If black wants to capture, then I'm happier, for sure happier to get 1-3 instead of 2. If you want to answer like this, then I have this move later as endgame. And still I will get this one. If the other move would come, I don't know which one can come, but this is super annoying because I think this is can really reverse the game. So that's why I wouldn't cut. I would just play here and play something like this. I think this is would be easier because leaving a ladder looks a bit too much. Yeah. Okay. This one, why not? Probably I would consider something else, but look, to be honest, looks okay. There is some agi. You are looking at this cut, and yeah, looks fine. You also want to have a high move because of the moyo. So I think this B is not scary. Like now moyo becomes even more interesting. So I think this is pretty good. Good move K4. Touch is also fine. Okay. Now I think this one should be okay. There is two options what you can do. Like one option, we try to play, let's say, connection, and then it's like this. Usually this is just good for white locally. Maybe in this case it's okay because black building a huge moya. But this is one. The second one, we play a joseki like, I think it should be like this. Well, maybe, wait, it should be like this, this, and this. Yeah, something like this. And then maybe we can sacrifice it. For example, like here, here. This is would be another joseki where we can give up the right side and kind of limit all that moya that is so scary. And I think it's also this like two reasonable options. Maybe sometimes you can play this. But even though there is no ladder, I feel like this is might be okay for white to build some shape and leave. Just thinking how to do it. Maybe even just like this should be enough. Or maybe even like this. This also might be okay. Just like this and then just jump. But this is I'm not so happy with. I'm just thinking what the other options I would consider here. Maybe like I'm not really fan of this. I think just some normal move like this would be okay. There's too many options where you can easily solve or this one or even this. This is also looks fine. Some moves like this and then just try to jump. This is some floating moves in order to just destroy Moya. Maybe also this one. Usually you never want to play q7 when there is q3, like this Shimari. But again, that is way more important what is going on here, but not what on the bottom. So that's why this 1-3 looks pretty good also. Or maybe also like this, it should be fine. Maybe now I don't know, maybe something like this. Even though you give up a panuki, but you kind of live super comfortable. And if black goes like this again, this was black corner, and now you kind of destroy that corner with a lot of points. So I think this is good. Even on this one, even if you live like this is super confident life, because you kind of capture stones and build ice. Even this one looks okayish. Like, it feels like you give up on Uki, that's true. But also, black needs to do something with the corner. You are completely alive. And then later, let's say it would be like this, can easily play a move here to destroy all Moya. It looks also completely fine for white. I think this is even good. Yeah, and after this cut, the situation, well, maybe it's also okay if now you would play this. This is the key move. It's the same idea that we are kind of threatening to capture. And now, like this. And now the shape is also okay. And I feel like this is also might be not bad result. Up to here, I think when you give this Atari, it feels like black is super happy and everything is just going with like complex plan. Okay, this looks okay. That's fine. I'm just thinking, like, I wouldn't even consider at this point to try to connect. Maybe at first, as black, I would play something like this to be sure I'm escaping with these stones. And if white really wants to play here, white can. This is just endgame. But just connecting like this, and most likely this group is dead. I would probably kill it with Keima to have less problems. This is for sure less problems. But giving up these stones looks a bit painful. Yeah, and it feels like it's just dying. Also, if I follow up, I think it's okay to play like this, and at this point, to just stop and don't take the corner. Corner at this point, it looks like a lot of points, but you also give option to center like at A, maybe at B. It's not really the biggest point on the board. I think right now it's really cool. As black, maybe you make this exchange, just maybe one without minuses, and play this Kema, and then play this Kema again. And then I think black is okay. But living with this and letting white to get this move makes the game kind of closer. And now, yeah, now also this sequences looks like black kind of give white a chance. As white, you need to try to capture this as maximum. Like, I would probably play Hane here. I'm not sure. I don't really know what is the plan here for black. Like, even like this, even if you defend, you capture more, and this is important. Here, I don't know, you can just extend. And I think this is still one eye. Like, you can play this, or maybe this is too much. Maybe it's important, I don't know, but I feel like it should be that anyway. It feels like maybe like this and this, and that looks just. But yeah, I think overall there is a lot of options. You maybe try to capture, you try to take all liberties and win the liberty race. But here you have so many moves. You can let's say black even build one eye, and black would be still kind of dead. It feels like black really suffering here. And also now, I feel like, let's say it's fine, but the cut is also good. But here you need to for sure to defend. I cannot imagine to give up that much points like without fighting. I don't know if it's possible, but feels like it's possible. Like on this you capture. So not really clear what is the plan here for black. Let's say we exchange this. Exchange this. Can we kill it? Maybe. I don't know. What to do here? Maybe something like this. Yeah, this should be that. But I feel like if you give up this, maybe then you need not to cut, but you need to just capture this. This looks okay to capture, or well, it's not captured. Okay. Well, at least you need to maybe extend and fight. But that's the same. I just feel like this result feels not so good when you give up half of your territory in center. And up to here, I think this was like a huge success already for black, and that's why I'm not really happy as white. I think I would try maybe and die, but I would feel way better than like this. Like this, I think black is just ahead. And now after this, we kind of start to have endgame. This is okay. But nothing really, after this, nothing really happens. We just have endgame and yeah, and white have just less. So basically, you see, when you don't go for it, you play like 30 more moves, but it doesn't really affect. You cannot really win. There is no place where you can come back. And this was the last place here that you can come back. So, or not even come back, even win the game. And if you would play like here, if nothing works, I think white is fine. I think white, I'm not sure, maybe even ahead here in this game. Because black tried to do something and black just died. And yeah, it felt like this was kind of too much also. Also, this is the place where most likely you need to spend all your time you have up to Bayomi. Like well, I think this is a Fisher, so it's not like up to Bayomi, but I would spend all I have up to 1 minute here because next time you can gain time somewhere. But this is the last fight. Most likely it will happen. Like, and again, if you can find this exchange, A for B, A is inside, black B is outside, and it would be like at least like I think maximum this would be -5. I think it's not -5, maybe -3 points. This is if you would answer on C D, it would be -5. That's why I want to really answer like this. Like here. Maybe then if we go with the same variation, and if you give 2 stones, maybe at least you have 5 points more. And then I feel like a bit better as white to go for, like later I have more room for compromises. I would play only this if I only focused on liberties and I want to capture and I don't really look for the other moves. Or I don't think they are working. Yeah. So here was some kind of, I think there was two very important things. First of all, in a fight, when you have a ladder, try to use at least a ladder breaker. Think about that. That's pretty powerful. And yeah, like this, I think black is not happy. This is one. And the second one is for the shape here. Because overall, when you build a shape, like the goal of the group is not building points. When you invade, the goal is to build a shape which doesn't give your opponent a lot of center moves. And then it means this one is also center and makes your shape way better. And this is pretty good shape, and I think this would be a good invasion for white. And for black, I think this is like invading and going, maybe first of all living in the corner was pretty small. It looks like you leave, you have 4, maybe if white would kill you, might have something like 15, but also you give some center moves. So I don't think this is really worth a move at the moment. I think especially when the moe is so big. And the second of all, I wouldn't really go with the moves like J1 and H5 if I don't see a clear variation, because you need to remember that each time you play inside, you can lose like 5 points with each move. And if you see the variation, then it's good. If you don't, like here about this, you can make it the last move. I don't think it would be like here, and then suddenly white would connect. I think this is happy for black. So maybe at least J1 play as the last move might help. And then play this kind of combination only when you're sure it works. Yeah, that's all. Do you have questions about this game? If no, we can maybe stop. Yeah, I think um, yeah, we can maybe stop. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining, and yeah, see you next time. Have a nice evening. Bye.